Well, I'm building a catio and got a bunch of lumber, and I gotta be honest, I'm not really sure what I'm doing. Hey, look at there, I got out of there. So we are planning this as sort of a lean-to. We're going to build it right against the house so the cats can utilize a window to get out of. And it'll also have shelter because of the roof. So we're literally going to build it right to the wall and right to the eaves. We're not entirely sure what wood our deck is built from, but it is weathered to a dark grayish brown. Realizing that a new build would stand out like a sore thumb, we felt like we should stain it as best we could to match the existing wood. Figured it was easier to stain it in the driveway than it was to stain it on the deck. Okay, we're building a catio today. I've had not a lot of sleep, and it's gonna be a hot day, so we are getting started early. Now, I did a lot of research on how to build a catio, and all of the YouTube videos that I found showing how to build a catio were super high speed and no details. So I'm gonna make a really boring video where I give you details on how to make a catio, even though I don't really know what I'm doing, because there's other people who want to build a catio, and you know, this won't be perfect, but it'll be a good starting point. And let's get the kitties some freedom. We are going to connect a 2x4 right up to the wall, though not connecting it to the wall. I'm going to connect it to the eave that is sticking out up at the top. So we're going to have a wood-to-wood connection up there and a wood-to-wood connection down here on the deck. Howard's up-close vision is better than mine, so I have him doing the measuring. Measure twice, cut once.
There's your 8 feet 6 inches.
This is the first time I have ever used a circular saw in my life. I was mildly terrified. So this is the pre-stained wood. We stained all the wood yesterday so that it would be ready for us today. I cut it. It's not quite up to the ceiling because I don't think it needs to be up to the ceiling. I'm going to pre-drill a couple of holes here and then insert a couple of screws. Let's get this going. Yep, we're good.
Hey honey, what did you just do?
I just pre-drilled to avoid cracking the wood.
What do we just do now?
And I just put in a 2.5-inch screw, a number 10. That should keep it nice and solid right there. I'm going to get a second one. So now we are doing the same thing on the front. Okay, here's where we're at so far. We got the backboard put in, screwed in up there. We got this board in front, screwed in up here. Not really sure if this was necessary or not. I could have probably screwed from underneath and put screws into it. That would look cleaner. But I just used some of these fasteners that I had on hand. And then we dropped a cross brace in here. So I've now attached at the bottom, attached sides here. This is solid. Let's get to the other side. on the other side.
Now you're live. Oh, yeah, I got that.
You caught my sarcasm
I
live.
did.
Oh, this is a weird angle for me. This is,
Take another step up.
yeah.
Ah, now you're a little bit closer. Do we need to double check, make sure it's level?
Yeah, we should.
Yeah.
So we're not left-handed, and it's the only way I'm going to get this. Okay, let's get in there. There we go. That's solid. There we go. So we are now attaching 2 more vertical boards that are going to be framing the door so that I can get in and out of the catio, because I'm going to keep the cat box out here. I'm still going to have to change the litter daily, so I'm going to need to be able to get in and out. Oh yeah, solid. Ah, my battery just died. Hang on, let me get another one. Thank God for having 2 batteries. Gotta back that out a little. It's like I've hit metal or something. It's not going any deeper. Let me get a shorter nail. So I felt like I hit metal and the screw wasn't going in any further, so I pulled it out. I'm going to go with a shorter screw because this particular screw has a different head on it. I am using a different, God, I lost the word, drill driver. Okay, let's hope this works better. Boom, like that. Well, I snapped the drill bit and I got to try to get that out of there. Okay, there's the other half of the drill bit. Let's see how I broke that drill bit. Okay. Man, oh good. I had to do that blind, I couldn't see a thing. Pad.
There you go. Well done.
Okay.
So what are we doing?
Well, this is the door frame. This is going to be where the door is. This is the base plate for the door. And we wanted to put this in last because we wanted it to be a really, really tight fit. So we measured it. We believe it looks like a tight fit, and I may have to like just nudge this into place.
Nice.
Now we got to secure it.
Okay.
That's not going anywhere. I got this Works drill driver for free a few years ago when they did a sponsored post when I built a shoe cabinet. If you want to learn how to build a shoe cabinet, check it out here. We are starting on the door now, and we are framing the door out in 2x2s rather than 2x4s because I feel like it can be a little bit lighter weight. Okay, getting these hinges on. That one in. I'm not tightening any of them yet. There we go. Got all of the screws on the hinge. The hinge, we set it in like that, leaving a little space right here for the hinge, making sure the whole time that it, and then we're going to put the door in based on that. So, last screw. That'll hold that. Perfect. We attached the hinge to the door and the door frame, but we then removed the hinge and continued building the door. But we knew exactly where the hinge was going to go on the door because we could see the pre-drilled holes. And it just made it a lot easier when we put the welded wire on. So we got our door frame built with the 2x2s. We just laid it down and did 2 6-foot verticals and 2, I think we went 23-inch on the horizontals. With the single screw holding it, it seemed a little wobbly, and I know we plan to put in a cross brace in the middle, but I had these from a previous project years ago when they were just sitting around, so I'm just screwing those on to reinforce and keep it from having that shimmy. I feel like down at the bottom, it's just going to make it a little more stable. So we add these, plus it adds a little bit more weight to the door because it felt really lightweight with just the 2x2s. So we built our door laying flat on the ground and we reinforced it with the braces. We are now ready to stretch the netting across it. We did a crossbar right here, and we have some welded wire netting. I went with a 2x3-inch opening. I really wanted a 2x2-inch opening, but I went with what was available to purchase at Lowe's, and going with 2x3-inch, and we have cut it to the size of the door, and now we are going to staple it. Well, not really staples, they're more like nails, but kind of like staples, but yeah, these things. We're going to stick those things in. We're going to be at this a while. We are now ready to hang our door. We have a whole bunch of little U-shaped fence nails, poultry netting staples, they call them, holding it. Not always easy to get them in, but we got them in. You want to space them pretty close together because any place a cat can push their head through, they can get their bodies through. So we've got this really, really tacked down so that nobody can escape through a stretched out piece of netting. Okay, we got a crossbar in here, and we did one on the door. We did the same level all around. So we got a cross brace here and here, and it was a little tough, so I just toe-nailed it in right on the sides. I just came in at an angle with the drill, and we've got one last one to set. We're going to get it level right here. Our very last one. We've got close to level, but I'm a little bit off. So we're just going to we're there. Woo. Well, we are really close to being done, but we gotta call it a day because we're just beat. We have been using a stapler to put in the netting, and it's going in really nice with a stapler. We have to take a hammer and tap it down. Some of our work is not, you know, professional quality, but the cats aren't going to criticize it. The only thing we have left to do is to net in this side, and then we'll get started on putting in shelves. So I think it's going great, and we'll pick it up tomorrow. We are back at it, or I should say, I am back at it. Unfortunately, yesterday we had an issue where Howard did not have his safety glasses on at one point, and he got a wood chip in his eye. So he is at urgent care right now, and I am going to attempt to finish the catio myself. So today, that just means I've got to get the final piece of wired welding up on this biggest space. So it's really just going to be difficult to maneuver, but then I'll be stapling. You know, staple gun seems to really work to hold down this welded wire, and I may reinforce it with a few little screws in the corners, but I'm gonna get to it. We'll see if we can put you on sticks and maybe catch some of my ineptness. And these are my sleeping braids. I usually braid my hair when I go to sleep, and I did not bother styling my hair this morning because really, who styles their hair to build a catio? Not me. Okay, so it's really not the best camera angle, but I had to leave my camera in the shade, and this is going to be probably comical because even the small pieces of this welded wire were difficult to maneuver with two people. Now we've got one person, and it's the largest piece. So, yeah, prepare to laugh. Our deck is fairly narrow, so we didn't have a lot of space for the catio. It's only 21 inches inside, which is plenty of room if you're a cat. It's a little tight if you're a human. On some of these, we did a bend, and we really decided that we don't think it looks good bent like this, and we're going to have to replace this panel. Based on that, when I'm doing this last panel, this wide one, it's going to need a bend, and I think if we do that bend, it's just not going to look good. And we wanted to keep all the netting on the inside, but I honestly think it's going to look better with this final piece on the outside. And oh, Howard is going to have something to say with that when he gets home, but I think it's going to be the best looking way. Thinking. And it's already like 90 degrees, so I'm already sweating. Partially drilled in several screws here on the outside, and I'm going to try to hang this from those and then gradually smooth it out and tighten it down. That's the idea. Let's see how it goes. All in all, we tried 3 different methods for attaching the welded wire to the wood. On the door, we hammered in those fencing staples. On the inside, we used a staple gun, which was a little tough for my hands. And at this point, I was using some small self-drilling screws. Okay, that method seems to be working, but I'm out of screws now, so I'm gonna have to go screw shopping. Or use staples. Staples won't look as nice in the front, but boy, they sure quick. Oh, a quandary. I'll figure it out. Misfire. We don't have it all set up for you yet. We don't have your shelves, but it's pretty exciting, isn't it? Look at that. You get a taste of outside. You jumping down? I don't have any way for you to get back up, but we're working on it. You will have the outside soon, my love. Very soon. I better get him some sort of a step stool or something. He'll never make that jump. Not at his age. Well, when Howard came home, I showed him the field modification that I made, and he said, you know what? Good call. So, pleased about that. Now I want to show you something else. When we had a number of trees cut down on our property, I asked to keep a big chunk of this one because it's completely straight and it's got a nice, really thick piece of bark. This is a California walnut, and I thought it would be really nice in the catio, hopefully vertically, as something for the cats to get their claws into and climb up. I think they'd really enjoy it. So, fingers crossed it works. See how I make him carry the wood for me? He's so big and strong and handsome. There we go. And now we gotta get the next piece on. This was kind of weird. It was just barely hanging on the wood, so the only way I could figure out was going at an angle, but it seems to be holding. There we go. Let's slip a little clip on there and just slip a little lock on there, and now kitties won't be able to get themselves out. Of course, when I had a raccoon, I had to have an actual lock on it, locked, because he could open everything with his hands, but fortunately for me, my cats do not have thumbs. And the final thing we did was add a horizontal beam going side to side across the whole back of the patio. And this is so that when they come out of the window, they have something to walk on. Hey. So they can walk on this. And then the tree I have positioned right here. Let's get that from the outside. So you can see the tree. Kills me that you can see the spray paint where the guys marked it, but whatever. And I'm going to put a shelf on top of that so they can climb up the tree and then get on the little shelf and have that little place. So here we are with an almost done catio and two very exhausted people who are now going to have a cocktail. Howard's eye is much, much better. He had an eye infection, got drops for it, and now it's much, much better. And we've all learned a valuable lesson: wear the safety goggles. So we now keep the safety goggles in the box with the saw. So now I am in the process of, I took this wire that was the bent wire that looked really funky. I removed that this morning and am screwing it on. Let's see if you can see. I'm using these little screws that seem to, they're a metal screw, but they have a head on it that will make it sort of clamp these on. And so I am working on that, just sort of going in and screwing each of these on. Sometimes it seems like there's a little bend, so I'll do every rung Usually it's every other rung, and doing that. And then I'm going to get to putting in the shelves. I picked up some wood. I've got a 6-inch piece. I've got an 8-inch wide piece and a 10-inch wide piece. They're all 4 feet long. So I'm going to be cutting those up and building some shelves and some ramps. And for most of the shelves that I am putting in, I'm going to use some of our scrap pieces of wood. I'm going to just sort of figure out where I want the shelf, check the level, put in a couple pre-drill, put in a couple screws, boom, and a couple screws here, a couple screws there, and then on to the next. It's a little tough for me to film myself. Howard's not home. He's at work today, so it's a little tough. I hope I can show you everything. Let's give it a shot. Put a little mark there where it's level. That's where I want that right there. Let's double check. Bring that down. Bring that. Yep, we're level. Let's pre-draw. I noticed the board was a little slippery on the plastic, so I just slipped a doormat under it, and that helped tremendously. Okay, down to the wire, getting a few last little things finished on the catio. It's a little loud today out here. There's some construction going on next door, so I probably won't be doing much with sound. But today I'm putting in an artificial turf on the floor, and that's really just aesthetically to give it more of a finished look. And gonna put the log into place today. That's gonna require some interesting use of the saw, more of my learning experience. And yeah, I'd like to get a couple of hanging plants on the outside to draw some hummingbirds nearby, but that's not happening today, and maybe a few days. Anyway, let's get to work. By the way, I happened to notice that the company that had the artificial turf is a woman-owned company, so I will make sure to, well, let me find out what that is. I got this on Wayfair because I liked the fact that I could get the size that I wanted, or as close as possible, but really a nice treat to find that it is a woman-owned business and made in the USA. Always happy about that. Nance Industries. The synthetic turf that I got in a 2x8, and the size that I need is 91.5 inches by 20 inches. So I am going to cut it with a razor blade. 3-inch PVC pipe and wrap it with sisal to create an additional scratching post for them. They do use the tree a lot, of course, never when I'm bringing a camera around. I think I want to put another couple of shelves in there, but I figured I'd wait and see how they use it and what they seem to like. Colby does like his little scratching pad. I'm going to turn this into Scratchtopia for them. Do all your scratching in here, boys. Thanks for watching. I love you bunches. I hope you have an awesome rest of your day, and I will talk to you very soon.